I've been feeling like Hulu might be kind of coming up. But y'all, child, Hulu is not coming up. I just saw Grimcutty. Now, first of all, just based on the preview, I was excited to see this. Honestly, I'm the type of person, I'm excited to see every horror movie that comes out. Period. I don't care what it is. If the genre is horror, that's all I need to know. I don't even need to know the premise or anything. I'm ready to see the movie. Now, just in the preview, the actual monster, it ain't look very scary, but I was still like, you know what, I'm going into this with high hopes. I feel like Hulu is really trying to come up on their content. So basically, Grimcutty is a horror movie that is about parents who suddenly get really concerned and paranoid when they start hearing about this internet challenge that gets kids to cut themselves. And there is also a story in the movie where apparently, a story or a rumor where apparently the Grimcutty got a kid to stab his mom, right? And that's kind of the opening of the series. We see the Grimcutty going after this little boy and he stabs his mom. Y'all, I done seen some bad movies, child. I done seen some bad movies. Yeah, this is kind of at the top of the list of the worst movies I have seen in my life. First of all, they have a lot of ASMR in this movie because the teenage girl that we follow, the main protagonist that we follow, is a teenage girl who has a YouTube channel that is ASMR. I never knew what that was until my cousin got a YouTube channel. She's actually a huge, big time YouTuber. I guess ASMR is a big thing because her channel is like huge. But I've never actually watched any ASMR. It just doesn't seem like anything I would be into. And based on this movie, child, I caught my eye after I saw this movie and I was like, maybe I'm like one of them sensory sensitive or something people. Y'all, the ASMR in this it's a lot and it's painful. It is literally painful. The girl is whispering when the movie opens for her ASMR and she is talking so close to the mic you can like hear her tongue touching her like roof of her mouth. It is painful. The whispering, y'all, it was like nails on a chalkboard. They have a piece of toast and she's like rubbing the knife on the it was all killing me so bad that like 4 minutes into the movie I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And actually the very end, I didn't get the end of the movie because they had her ASMR like voicing over the like ending collage. So I saw the collage, but I had to mute it because it was literally painful. It was so bad. Now, let me go to my little notes. I got some notes on the movie that I want to make sure I hit on. Now, the creature in the movie, like I said, you can tell from the preview, the creature is pretty bad. Like, I don't know who designed this creature, but they need to not ever work in Hollywood ever again for the rest of their life. They need to get a new job. Maybe they could be chalk outline guy, like Mr. Writer. Or designer, do you think if we just leave the body on the ground, you can just trace around it? Because you can't design the monster. This looks like something from a cartoon or a kids program, something you would see in something that's like Erie, Indiana-esque or Goosebumps-esque. Like, it looks like something that's for kids. It was laughable. It pretty much looks like a roach and a huge lollipop and the Slender Man and the Grudge Girl if they took a bunch of protein powder and beefed up on steroids. Like, it's laughable. Now, I feel like the scariest part of this movie is the dad. Our main parents that we see of the main girl we follow, the dad, y'all, he was so scary. I'm telling you, okay, I thought there was going to be a twist at the end of the movie. Have you ever seen those movies where you see events happen, right? But then they have a twist and they re-show you those events and it shows you how it really happened versus how they showed the viewer. I thought they were going to literally jump back and show us every time the Grimcutty attacked, it was actually the dad. He was insane. He was the scariest thing about this movie. He would be going insane. Get out the internet! Because basically the parents would hear about this internet challenge. They wanted to take their kid's phone. They didn't want them on the internet. The dad put some kind of tracer where he could see when the kids get on the internet and what they search. And he's like, Grimcutty! He searched Grimcutty! It was so insane the way he would be yelling at his kids. I'm seeing like, I would be running towards the Grimcutty and away from my dad. He was so freaking scary and so freaking insane, y'all. It was so psychotic. He was literally the scariest thing in the whole entire movie. Now, it was kind of easy to pick up on the fact that the Grimcutty basically is summoned by the parents, right? Because it was really easy to pick up on the fact that the Grimcutty did not attack the girl until her parents learned of the Grimcutty, looked it up online, and started freaking out. Then she saw the Grimcutty try to attack her. So it was really, really easy to piece that together. So it wasn't really a mystery in the movie. I guess the mystery would be what started the Grimcutty or where it came from. That is what our main character was trying to track down, because basically all the parents would flip out because another parent would call, tell you about this internet challenge, about the meme, about the Grimcutty, but no one could actually find the actual challenge. Like, no one could find it. So our main protagonist girl, I can't, you know what, let me look up her name, because I can't think of her name. I'm just calling her the main protagonist girl. Her name is Asha. That was it. That was her name. So Asha's parents flips out about the Grimcutty, about the internet and all this stuff, and basically her little brother can kind of play the parents, and he's acting out, oh, hidey ho parents, yes, let's detox from the cell phones. I'll put it in a detox box. They had a detox box where you had to put your laptop and your cell phone, but really the kid was playing them because he had a secret laptop. Now, how a little 12-year-old got a laptop his parents don't know about, I don't know, because when I was 12, everything I had my mama bought. Like, I don't know how you get a whole laptop and your parents don't know, but that's besides the point, I suppose. So the girl, she's a teenager for one, it's the modern age for two, and she has a YouTube channel. She did not want to give her stuff up. Literally, this movie is written so horribly. The dialogue is so bad. One person literally says, they can't just take our cell phones. That's fascist. We need to call the police. And I'm watching like, is this real? Is this for real? Like, it was so horrible. But basically, she is trying with another girl, another teenager, to track down the actual meme, because they start realizing, okay, no one has actually seen this meme that the parents are freaking out about. So that was easy to put that together. Now, she gets attacked by the Grimcutty. She grabs a knife to protect herself. Now, I found it extremely convenient because basically the challenge is supposedly the Grimcutty gets kids to voluntarily cut themselves. You know all these internet challenges. So I found it convenient that every single time the Grimcutty attacked her, she grabbed a knife. How was a knife just always handy? The first attack, okay, I can buy it. She was in the kitchen, running through the kitchen. Her parents realized she got into the detox box, so they were looking for her. So she's trying to hide from the parents while she's on the phone with the teenage girl trying to figure out the Grimcutty, and the Grimcutty attacks her. So I can plausibly buy that she gets a knife at the very beginning, but then she gets attacked at like a house party and all, and I'm just sitting here like, it's very convenient that you can get a knife in every occasion so that your parents can just say, oh, you're following the challenge and you're trying to cut yourself. Now, when the Grimcutty first attacks, she tells her parents that someone was in the house. They call the police, and the police end up saying, we've gotten a lot of calls like this tonight. And that also helps you piece together that as soon as the rumor mill amongst the parents start and they start going crazy about the Grimcutty, this is when simultaneously all the kids are getting attacked and seeing the Grimcutty. So that was, like I said, that was obvious to pretty much piece together. Now, I feel like the movie was going for this kind of mob mentality, you know, internet paranoia, helicopter parent, mom vloggers. We're going to get into the mom vlogger, child. like just this commentary on all of that, which in essence, the idea of this movie, I feel like it's a good idea. Okay, whatever. The execution, the writing, the characters, the dialogue, the actual monster, it was terrible. So they end up finding out she goes to a house party of this rich kid who is the only person whose parents hasn't done the detox box, because he's a rich, you know, spoiled kid. His parents are out of the country, etc., etc., and they need to use his internet. Now, they end up tracing the Grimcutty to this mom vlogger because they notice words the mom vlogger used is what their parents use verbatim about the detox box and all this other stuff, yada, yada, yada. So, actually, the monster is not the Grimcutty. The true evil is the self-righteous mom vlogger. Yeah. That's why I'm like, they were trying to go for something. They was trying. They ain't quite get there, but they was trying. Okay, they was trying. I'm a grade on the curve, and I'm gonna say, you know what, you tried. So, oh, and the teenage friend had parents that gave her a lot of freedom and trust. So her parents initially was not freaking out the way the rest of the parents was. They end up freaking out. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to explore. Like I said, what I thought they were trying to explore, that was a missed opportunity to explore the nuances of parenting, because it's not just one extreme or the other, either the neglectful parents or the helicopter parents. I thought that would be the nuance of the parents who trust their daughter, because I feel like my mama, no, when I was a teenager, I was insane. Like, I'm surprised she ain't sent me to military school. But my mother knows her child, and she knows that if I do anything, it is not peer pressure. It's always going to be my idea. So I feel like it would have made sense for not every single solitary parent to freak out and think that your child is going to see the internet tell them to cut themselves, and they're going to actually cut themselves. But no, every single solitary parent in this movie freaks the f*** out. Which is unrealistic in my humble opinion. And if they didn't freak out, like I said, they were the neglectful parent. Now, I'm sorry, just thinking about this movie is making me laugh. The acting in this movie is ridiculous. It's truly laughable. And the mom of Asha is actually, I can't think of her name, but she is an actress that I have seen pretty consistently. One of her movies is actually on, I haven't posted it yet, on my video for Halloween night movies to binge. And I'm like, baby, you used to know how to act. Like, what happened? It was so weird. The acting was, the best actor in the movie was the younger brother. And I'm sitting here like, baby, if this is acting, I need to go try to apply for a role. Well, you don't apply for a role. Audition for a role. The acting was horrendous. Okay. Now, the daughter ends up getting attacked by the Grimcutty at the house party, because while at the house party, when she first gets in, she's kind of in the background, but you can see her. One kid pulls up his cell phone and he's like, yeah, everyone say Grimcutty and let's act like we're cutting ourselves. Ah! And she's in the background. And if the parents are paying attention, she's literally looking like, the hell is wrong with these people? She's not doing all the stuff with them. But her parents end up hearing from another parent about this Grimcutty party that's going on. They look it up. They see Asha in the picture, and dad goes on to, the Grimcutty. He was insane, y'all. I can't even. He was so psycho. He was like, when you see a movie and they talk about when people do a crime high on PCP and they can like break car windows and like lift-ish, that's super like way of time. That's how the dad was going off. So the second the dad sees this and goes off, Asha starts getting, she sees the Grimcutty at the party. She can get a knife at the house party. Now, the parents fly over to the house party. They get into the main party. It's like upstairs. They hear Asha yelling upstairs. When they get upstairs, the Grimcutty, she has a knife to protect herself, but the Grimcutty is trying to make her cut herself. Obviously, the parents cannot see the Grimcutty. They just see her in the hallway screaming and cutting herself. Now, She tries to tell her mother when she's in the hospital, do you know me to cut myself? Do you know me to ever do anything to hurt myself? And all this other stuff, right? Keep that in your mind. She ends up tracking down the mom vlogger's address. She asks her, oh, I forgot about another crazy part. When the parents pick her up from the house party, she had called her younger brother to ask him to look up the address for the mom vlogger. Once they get in the car, that's when we got the scene that I talked about earlier where the dad put the little stuff on and he could see when someone was searching and he saw it. Now, at this point, the little boy has never seen the Grimcutty. The dad is like, he's searching Grimcutty. And all of a sudden, the little boy gets attacked by Grimcutty. So freaking stupid. So we get to the hospital. Asha finds that her brother got the address. She steals the mom car keys. This didn't make no sense. Your daughter's in the hospital because she just tried to kill herself, but you leave her alone. Am I tripping? If your teen daughter just tried to kill themselves, you do not leave them alone. Like, that didn't make any sense. Like, mom, like, left her alone. I don't mean like she walked out the room. I mean like mom booked somewhere else in the hospital. She was gone. So the daughter gets the mom keys. Let's fast forward. She gets to the mom vlogger house. Fast forward. She discovers the mom vlogger is the mom who got stabbed, whose son stabbed her, right? Now, obviously, we can deduce, we learn, we can tell the son stabbed mom because mom was freaking out, and the Grimcutty only attacks when your parent is freaking out. So this little boy is locked in a closet. She is locked from the outside. She opens it. All of a sudden, the mom flips out. Now, she holds a gun to Asha and everything. Her mom comes in because she saw where the daughter looked up and saw the address, and she took a Uber or whatever there. Fast forward. So the mom gets there, Asha's mom, and the mom vlogger is saying, your daughter, you know, she's crazy. I don't know what she's here for. The daughter is telling the mom, watch out. She held a gun on me. There's a boy locked in the closet. The mom reaction to, she just held a gun on me and there's a boy locked in the closet, is to smack fire out of her daughter. That's her reaction. So we get in the car and mom starts flipping out, finally on the level of how dad was flipping out. And all of a sudden the Grimcutty is coming to her and she's like, mom, just calm down. Because now Asha has learned, because you know that's kind of the premise of our protagonist. Something happens and you got to try and find out the mystery of how to solve it. So she's figured out that if the parents are calm and don't freak out, the Grimcutty does not attack. Somehow, this woman is able to get so mad that she can punch and break the window, the car window. Baby, do car windows just break like, like that easy? But her hand is perfectly fine. Like, mom is okay. Mom flips out about all these stories that the girl is telling. She punches the window and all of a sudden she says, just stay right here, Asha. She goes into the house back to the mom vlog and she says, my daughter's not a liar. Bitch, your daughter been lying the whole movie, according to you and your husband. Your daughter said she did not cut herself. Your daughter said she was attacked. Your daughter said a little boy was being held in a closet. Your daughter said the woman had a gun on her, and you ain't believe none of it. But all of a sudden, you punch the window and have an epiphany that my daughter doesn't lie. Come on now, child. Yo, the way the writer had mom connect 1 + 1, the ish was equaling like 23. It made no sense for mom to jump from not believing a word from the daughter the whole movie, not getting any type of proof or anything that suddenly comes in to change your mind. No, all of a sudden it's just punch the window. My daughter doesn't lie. I was literally watching this movie like, it felt like I was in like the Twilight Zone. Like, you know how when the Twilight Zone come on, it's like, do not attempt to adjust your dial. Like, it was so insane. And I had to rewind it because I'm just like, baby, what did I miss? Mama punched the window and then she just suddenly was calm. Stay here, Asha. My daughter doesn't lie. It was so asinine. It was so stupid. It did not make any sense whatsoever. So now, ta-da, Mom figures out that as long as the parents don't freak out, their kids are safe. And she's a nurse. She works at the hospital. She puts together a cocktail so that she can inject the husband, right? Because their kids need to be safe. And the husband is, like I said, the scariest thing in the movie. Y'all, this movie was so lazy and cliched. It was just so terrible. So the anticlimactic climax of the movie, we get to the hospital. Dad freaks out when it comes to the son. Son has to run. He's running through the hospital. And of course, Dad, come here. The Grimcutty. He's just going insane. Baby, that ain't how you get your child to come to you. So fast forward. Asha gets to the little brother. She tells him to hide, and she says she goes to the dad because as long as the dad is focused on her, the Grimcutty won't attack the son. Asha has a knife. and I'm sitting here like, okay, well, I guess baby gonna stab dad, just like the little boy had to stab the mom vlogger. But fast forward, somehow... No. This one wasn't somehow. The dad actually had something happen. Asha is trying to get dad to calm down, but she's holding a knife behind her back because I guess plan A is to try to verbally get dad to calm down, and plan B is to stab him if he don't, so that, the Grimcutty don't get her. But anyway, as she's talking, the way I kind of flail my arms when I talk, she kind of flails her hands, and dad is like, "What's in your hand?" "It's a knife! The Grimcutty!" So of course Grimcutty pops up. And the Grimcutty lifts her in the air. Obviously, dad just sees daughter lifted in the air. And fast forward, dad puts 2 and 2 together, and he realizes that him freaking out causes the Grimcutty to come. End of the movie. But like I said, I ain't really get the end of the movie because they did the ASMR, so I don't know what she was saying. I guess, parents are now listening to their children and they're not freaking out, and the Grimcutty won't attack, and we're all just one big happy family. I just saw the collage. But this movie was so horrible. And it's not even like horrible where, how people make a movie and they think it's serious, but really it's a comedy and you can at least enjoy it because you're laughing. No, this was just bad, honey. Like, this was just terrible. Oh my God, it was that freaking ASMR. It was painful. It was so painful. This movie, first of all, Grimcutty, I don't even like that name. That name doesn't sound scary. The name sounds stupid. Grimcutty, I'm thinking of like Passport Cutty, and I'm thinking of Get Some Cutty. Like, it just is a dumb name. I don't know. This is literally the bottom of the barrel of filmmaking, and Hulu should be god dang ashamed of themselves for having this even on their platform. This was so terrible.